Hi, I'm Marcus, and I'd like to thank you for watching another episode of the Culinary Cantina, a show put on by Nerd Life Productions. This week we're making a dish that you can share with all your friends, so get ready, because we're making my Prancing Pony Sausage Stir Fry. So this week on Culinary Cantina, we are making my Prancing Pony Sausage Stir Fry, and we have a very special guest this week. Nerd Life Productions CEO and my very good friend, Joshua Schramm. We're really excited to have Schramm on today because you seriously brought McDonald's into the Culinary Cantina.
I was hungry.
So this is the problem. Schramm is a notorious non-cooker. Doesn't like to cook, doesn't like vegetables.
Hey, why are you calling me out on the show?
I'm just saying.
I agreed to come here.
I'm just saying, the reason you're here is I want to change your mind about cooking. And we're going to do that. And one of the things I'm trying to show Schramm today is that you don't need a lot of ingredients to make a really good dish. So here we have 1 can of stewed tomatoes. We have a little bit of olive oil for the pan. You can use extra virgin or you can use regular. The thing about extra virgin is most of the extra virgin we get in this country is not actually extra virgin, so I just buy the cheapest stuff. I have a little bit of sweet basil and roasted paprika. It's sweet because you're sweet. Salt and pepper to taste. I just, put a pinch amount in there. Then I have 3 different colored peppers. You could use any pepper you want. I just think from an aesthetics point of view, it's nice to have the different colors in the dish. So I went with red, orange, and yellow. A bundle of spinach. And this is going to be the last ingredient to go in, but it's really nice. Some asparagus, and I chose asparagus because it's going to be spring here pretty soon, and asparagus season's going to start. And I know Schramm is not a huge asparagus fan.
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of those spices over there.
Yeah, but I'm going to try to convince him that asparagus can be delicious.
I'm scared.
1 Spanish onion, and then our sausage. Now, Schramm here had the nickname in college of being the Italian stallion.
It's true.
So I decided to go with a sweet Italian sausage, but you could really use any kind of sausage you want as long as it's not, a breakfast sausage. And the thing I want to really convey about this dish is that pretty much all you need is the sausage and the spices and the oil and the tomato. These here can be arranged to accommodate what's growing locally and seasonal. I challenge everyone who's watching this episode that when the farmers markets start opening here in another couple of weeks, take a Saturday morning and head out to your local farmers market.
I met my wife at a farmers market.
You did not, you liar. All right, so these are our ingredients. I'm going to put Schramm to work here and we're going to start chopping. So the first thing we're going to chop up is the spinach, and this is the only thing that doesn't go in kind of like the general bowl. It gets set aside because, like I said, it's the last ingredient to go into the dish. So if you want to start chopping that.
So you just want me to chop the stems off, leaving the leaf?
Right, yeah. We don't want any of the stems because they take a little bit longer to cook and they're not very enjoyable to eat. So I would chop the stems and then maybe chop these leaves in half. The thing is that the spinach is going to shrink a lot once it's in the dish. So, it doesn't have to be precise. It's all going to shrink. Awesome. So Schramm's going to work on that.
I've never done this before, I swear.
Yeah, Schramm is a novice chopper.
It looks like I'm a natural.
You are a natural. You're definitely a natural. And one thing when you buy spinach in bulk, you can buy like the boxes of baby spinach that are meant for salads. But if you go to the lettuce section, you can pick up spinach. I think I paid like $1.10 for a big bundle of spinach. We're only using about a quarter of it. So, it takes about, how long did that take? 10 seconds to chop the stems off, and you're getting the same thing for way cheaper.
And my muscles are going to get really big, right?
Super big.
Okay, cool.
The biggest.
As long as that happens, we're good.
All right, next thing you are chopping is the asparagus. Pass this over to you. Now, asparagus is kind of the same way as spinach. Here you go, homeboy.
Thank you.
We don't want, I always say like your 4 fingers width, cut that off the bottom because the bottom of the asparagus is super fibrous. And if you just cook them like this and you put it in there, you're just going to be chewing on the end. It's not a very...
Fibrous is a $10 word for gross.
Yes, fibrous is a $10 word for gross.
All right.
So yeah, just take the ends off those guys, and then they go into... a
little bit more?
No, there.
Okay.
Oh, you're so strong.
All right.
And then
Where's this going?
that goes into this bowl right here. Now, another thing you could do if you wanted to was you could cut the asparagus in half again, and that would give you more like bite-sized portions. Fram and I have actually kind of run into an issue today, and that is that both of us cry when we cut onions.
We're sensitive.
We're sensitive men. So I'm going to bite the bullet on this one and cut the onion.
I'll be here for support.
Thanks, bud. I really appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to take the ends off. Great. And then I'm just going to slice them like maybe the thickness of 2/4, your iPhone, whatever. You just don't want to cut them too thick because then they don't cook evenly. So happy you're here. I'm crying. I'm just really emotional about this whole situation. Yeah.
We should scrap this and make onion rings instead.
Make onion rings? Just
Ooh, or a bloomin' onion.
The whole point of this is to try to get you to stop eating pizza at parties. Remember?
I don't think either one of the things I said was a pizza.
That's yeah, that's true. I wonder how many calories the blooming onion has. You have to imagine it's got to be at least 2,000.
Well, I think that's the threshold. If something is 2,000 calories or more, it's delicious.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Just throw these in there. Oh man, I'm getting a little.
It smells good.
Yeah, it smells real good. All right, cool. Now, peppers. I am going to teach you how to chop a pepper. Here's your knife.
Uh-oh.
Nope, this is easy. So the mistake people make, not the mistake, but to save time, some people will take a paring knife and carve out the top and then pull the top out. I don't waste the time, so I'm just going to do this first one. I just cut the top off like that. And then you have the seed packet on the inside. 3 fingers in, pull that out. And then we can see on the inside we have these lines of white. We really don't want those. They don't taste very good. So then I just chop it in half again and then slowly just carve out all the white stuff, being careful not to lose a finger. Think you can do that? I have faith in you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't play as many video games as I used to, but I do still need my fingers.
Yeah, right. And out of all these peppers, I actually like yellow peppers the best. They have a little bit of sweetness to them that I think is really good. So if it was me...
I didn't realize they taste different.
They do. Green peppers are actually probably my least favorite.
I like the orange pepper the best because it reminds me of Aquaman, my favorite superhero.
Yeah? I do like the orange ones. But the whole point of getting the multicolor is just from an aesthetic. I mean, it's partially about taste, but it's also for an aesthetic.
You want you're very concerned with your food looking pretty.
Yeah, well, I mean, like if I'm having people over, I want them to be excited to eat what I'm cooking, and part of it's color. So we're gonna wash these real quick, and then we're gonna slice them up into little strips. Now, I put my meat on a different cutting board than all my vegetables. I don't like to mix cutting boards when I'm using meat and vegetables. So I'm just going to have you slice these up, and you can leave them on the board. But the sausage is going to be cut about 2 finger widths, just all the way across. All right, so we brought all of our ingredients over to the stove. I have a medium deep pan. You can really use any kind of pan you want as long as it will hold all of the ingredients. One thing to take note of though is you are going to put the stewed tomatoes in, so that's going to make it pretty wet. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our stove on to just over medium. Perfect. And then we're going to put enough olive oil in the pan to just evenly cover the bottom of it. Like that. Perfect. Now we're going to take a little time and let this olive oil heat up. So we're going to let that heat up for a little bit. I'm going to put some of the salt and pepper in, kind of give that olive oil some flavor. I'm also going to take a pinch of the smoked paprika and the sweet basil and put that in, but I'm not putting the whole thing in yet. I'm just trying to give that olive oil a little flavor. All right, cool. So we are going to let this heat up for a couple minutes, and then we're going to put the sausage in. So... All right, so I'm just going to kind of plop these in.
He's actually setting them in the pan.
Yeah. Oh, and it smells really good already.
How important is that to put them in the pan that way? Because I feel like a lot of people would just
dump. Right, so the thing with the sausage is I just want to brown it before I put the vegetables in. So if I put them all on the same side, that way when I kind of give them a roll in the pan, in theory, they'll kind of all roll over to the other side. But you could just plop it all down. Now, you don't want to cook the sausage all the way through before you put your vegetables in because they'll become dry at the end. So just let them sit in, let the sides get brown, give them a roll over, and then maybe put the lid on for a couple minutes just to get the edges done, and then put your vegetables in, and we'll show you how to do that. So we've had the sausage under the lid for a little bit, and it's definitely browned on all sides, which is great. That's exactly what we want. And it's smelling pretty legit.
Pretty good.
Would you say? So now we're gonna add the veg.
Legit.
Handful
Will you
of.
let me add the tomato?
Yeah, for sure. That's like one of the last things to go in.
That's fine.
But yeah. All right. Well, we chopped a little much. No problem. I'll put that in an omelet tomorrow, and then we're just gonna put the lid on it. So the dish has been on for about 10 minutes. We did the 5 minutes, stirred it, capped it back again, another 5. And right now you can see that the colors in all of the vegetables are really starting to come out, and our seasoning is getting spread over them as we stir. So now I'm going to take one last pinch of the herb mix that we have, the paprika and the basil, put that on, and then Shram is going to add his favorite ingredient.
You gotta pour it on slow because you don't want to burn the tomato.
It looks beautiful. And the point of the tomato, again, is just to give us a nice base to pour all of this over. It's really, really nice. So I'm just going to give it a quick little stir here with some tongs. And we also want a lot of that liquid out of the tomatoes to kind of give us a nice little broth. Cool. All right, so we've added the tomatoes. I'm going to take the spinach and just spread it over the top like this so it shrinks down. Perfect. And you could see, you know, we really didn't have that many ingredients, but we have a full pot of food here. Yeah. You could feed quite a few people with this. I think my total cost for all these ingredients, the sausage being the most expensive, was like $17.
So how many people do you think that could serve?
Serving it by itself, probably 6. Serving it with rice or over pasta, 8. All right, so we've added the tomatoes, we've added the spinach, and it smells really good. You want to take a dive on that?
Yeah, I can smell the tomatoes. So
yeah. All right, so then we're going to cover it up and leave it for another 5 minutes. After that, we'll give it a stir, check to make sure everything's done. I'm going to bet that it is, and then we'll plate. I've chosen to go with a brown rice underneath it, and you could, like I said earlier, you could put pasta under this, you could serve it by itself, you could serve it with a wedge of bread, you could serve it in a bread bowl. There's really a lot of options. Tortilla, that'd be good. So, Shram, how do you feel? Do you feel like you could make this dish at home?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Real simple. I think the hardest part of it was just tending, it takes a little bit of skill to tend to the meat when you're cooking it. But
cool. So there's the goal. We've provided a really great dish for all of your group gatherings. If Shram can make it, you can make it.
It's true.
And hopefully we've convinced you to stop calling the pizza guy as much and make something at home. All right, so we've all had a chance to eat some of the Prancing Pony Sausage Stir Fry. Will, what do you think?
Of course, you're asking me when my mouth's full.
That's right. Every time I make sure to ask you when your mouth's full.
It's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm a big fan of peppers and onions, which this has a lot of. And also, the sausage you got, I'm really liking. A lot of times I find sausage a little too spicy, and this is just right. Probably one of the best sausages I've ever had.
All right, Jenny, first time Culinary Cantina staffer. What's your thoughts?
This is good. I'm not big on sausage, but you cooked it well. The tomatoes cover up any taste I don't really like, but everything, I'm really surprised I like this dish so much.
Awesome. All right, the true test, Shram the Ram, CEO, Nerd Life Productions. Give me your thoughts.
it's good. It's really good.
You like it?
Yeah, like Jenny said, any of the flavors I was worried about are really tomatoed out, and But not to say that they're not there. I think that a lot of my vegetable experiences have been with raw vegetables, and like, a lot of this stuff tastes it just like that. Even the asparagus, and I can taste the asparagus through the tomato. It tastes good.
Cool.
Cooked, the flavors cooked together good, and the sausage, so good.
All right, well, if I can get Josh Schramm to like this dish, you can get anyone to like this dish. So leave us your comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And tune in next time for an episode of the Culinary Cantina.